the stream disconnected there, so I don't know if this is gonna work out for the video, but we'll see. Moving on to glyphs. Obviously, I talked earlier about rapid displacement. This is the go-to thing for high mobility. Obviously, seeing multi-strike is the main thing you want to go for as a frost mage. In PvE, that is, you want to have this glyph at all times, and the splitting ice just makes all your ice lances and icicles cleave. So there aren't any other major glyphs you want to go for. As far as minor glyphs go, I run with Unbound Elemental because I just like the looks better, and I would say this is a must glyph, Evaporation, because it makes your water elemental smaller, and it just is less in the way for your raid, especially if there's a lot of like clusters where you have to stack up and stuff like that. You don't have too much big models in the raid, just so things are a little bit better to see. Momentum, that's a really good glyph because it just allows you to blink in the direction you're walking instead of where you're facing. It's a personal preference thing. I don't really like it, I don't really need it, but if you feel like you need it, you should definitely use it. It's amazing. I just run with a glyph of rapid teleportation because it's like when I get somewhere, I just want to get out of that building as fast as possible and mount up. So that's it for the glyphs. So yeah, as far as gearing goes, obviously you want to go for multi-strike and stuff like that. I covered that earlier, but I'm gonna talk about a little bit about the set bonuses. Now, obviously, you want to get your 4-piece, and that means that one of the pieces you have, one of the five pieces you have free to put a other piece in instead of a tier piece. For Frost, this would be your shoulder pieces, because there's this Archimonde shoulder piece with multi-strike and haste. So, like I said earlier, multi-strike main, and then haste and mastery are about the same. So this is a bis piece, plus Archimonde drops the highest item level. So this is an amazing what's it called, piece to have. So yeah, shoulder piece is the offset piece for Frost mages. Arcane, it would be the headpiece from Archimonde. So you would have to have the full set if you are running that type of dual specialization. Doom Nova is the Prophecy of Fear trinket from Manoroth is amazing, so you kind of want to run with that at all times together with the Tome of Shifting Words, the class trinket for mages. Let's get into some rotations now. This is how it basically goes. I personally have Waterjet macroed onto my bar. Now, if you want to use, like, okay, technically my Waterjet is on control 7 on my pet bar. I don't like that. I don't like using control. I don't mind using shift, but personally I don't like using the control and then number buttons, so I would run with a macro, and I will put it in the description on YouTube, on the YouTube video of this. So the way it works is that usually you will be standing pretty much on your max range of the boss, right? The thing is I will just put on my pet on passive. When you cast the Frostbolt, like, it has travel time, and what your Waterjet does is it every time your Frostbolt does damage to a what's it called, a target that is affected by Waterjet, it will give you a Fingers of Frost stack, which is amazing. But this also means you are not allowed, actually, especially if you don't have the 4-set bonus, to auto cast your Waterjet. So what you want to do is have a macro or a suitable binding for your Waterjet and time it. The way you want to go about this is, if you're standing at max range, you can start casting your Waterjet once your first Frostbolt is basically mid-air. This way you will min-max the amount of Frostbolts you are able to fit into your what's it called? Into your Waterjet cast, especially if you don't have the 10-second extension from the DCed bonus. So it would go a little bit like this. And as you can see, as my Waterjet landed, I have gotten a Iceland proc. As you can see, I'm not using the Blizzard standard ones. I've turned those off with a little add-on called Move Anything, and made my own Weakauras. The reason I've done this because the Blizzard thing is nice if you're beginning and everything, but the biggest problem I always found is that the Brain Freeze proc only shows you one. And it was nice that the Blizzard one showed both Iceland stacks, but now that you can get 4, it basically is in the same boat as the Brain Freeze proc animation. So I just made an entire Weakaura for that, and like I will put my personal Weakauras that I use for Frost Mage in the description below. But yeah, so the rotation for going like Frost Mage without DCed bonus, as Monta explained it, he was pretty spot on there. Like generally you want to weave those Frostbolts into the what's it called, the Waterjet, and then dump your stacks, and that's just that. DCed is a little bit different, and I'll get into that right now, especially when you have your class trinket. You want to weave your Ice Lances out of a Frostbolt cast. So the way you go about this is you do the cast on the Frostbolt, then mid-air cast on Waterjet, and you keep casting Frostbolts till you hit 3 or 4 stacks, and then you start Frostbolt, Ice Lancing, Frostbolt, Ice Lancing, Frostbolt, Ice Lancing, till it basically is completely run out and you are out of stacks. At that point, if your Waterjet is still on cooldown, you can use your Frozen Orb to get some stacks whilst Waterjet is coming off cooldown. Now, seeing Waterjet with DCed bonus will in theory be 12 seconds, but with haste it's a little bit less, and it has a 25 second cooldown. It has about a technically like a 48 point something percent uptime, and it means that with the minute cooldown on Frozen Orb you won't feel that as much, because you won't need to use it always on cooldown, and most of the time you will just have a lot of procs anyway, because you will also get them from your Frostbolts and Frost Firebolts. But here is just a simple example of a Waterjet rotation, and so with the DCed bonus there is first the build-up phase, and then there's the weaving phase. So you build up to 4 and then you weave it out. I also have these colored bubbles in my Weakauras that go like left and right. That's my Incantus flow counter. So you can, if you really want to min-max your DPS, you can just like when it hits over there, you get a Ice Lance out, and then you build some more, and then you just Frostbolt, Ice Lance, Frostbolt, Ice Lance. I wasn't really paying attention to my Brain Freezes there, so I lost a stack before I could dump it. But generally you want to prioritize on your Ice Lances anyway. So yeah, and then as you can see it's off cooldown, and I can start a new rotation of this. And then on the 20% I'm able to get one of these. And then now I have 2 stacks of Brain Freeze, so on the 20% I'm gonna do a Frostbolt Ice Lance and 2 what's called Frostfire Bolts, and then get rid of these. Another Frostfire Bolt on the high thing, and starting a new Waterjet rotation. Getting a Doom Nova proc on the target is also always really nice. The only small change is that if there is if you're running with this current setup and there is a target that has Doom Nova up, you need to kind of ignore your class trinket rotation for Ice Lances and just spam all your Ice Lances into the targets, and it will do amazing AoE damage even though you are not spec'd for it. So, but yeah, this is basically how you want to go about it with the rotation. Let's see here. Am I missing anything? I don't think so. In any case, drop me a like if you like my video. If you don't, then don't. But this, just to reiterate, this is not a personal attack on Manta or anything. I just felt the need to make some corrections in the errors he made, and for you new mages to get the proper info on how to really min-max your abilities. Of course, certain things will always be personal preference and you don't have to follow my exact way of playing, but I'm just speaking out of experience what works best in general. And if you can step out of a comfort zone where you're used to using something different as to using something that is more efficient, that is great. If not, you can keep playing as the way you want, and that's just how it is, isn't it? In general, Frost Mages, I believe, or just mages in general, are just one of the strongest DPS classes in the game, and therefore I am very eager to always help out any new starting mage with his rotations, with how to spec and gear. And as you can see, I have a explanation and a reasoning for why I do certain things a certain way. Yeah, well, see you guys.